Hello everybody, I hope you are all doing fantastically today. Today I'm coming at you guys with an awesome video about how to replace the idler pulley on your vehicle. Specifically, I'm going to be working on a 3.4 liter V6 2001 Toyota Tacoma today. That was the weirdest order I possibly could have described the motor and engine combination in this thing. Motor and engine are the same thing. I'm just killing it today. But it's the 5VZ FE engine, 3 belts, and it just so happens that the idler pulley is on the second belt. Let me go ahead and show you guys how I know that this thing needs to be replaced without even physically seeing the pulley. Let's take a little listen to this engine note. Now, I'm not quite sure how well the audio picked up on that clip, but the engine is making a couple of really strange noises. It's making kind of a weird round sound that I thought was power steering for a while, but as I thought about it more and more, I'm convinced that it's the idler pulley, because there's also this strange whirring noise. It's like a and all of these things, to me, seem to all be coming from the same place. Now, I already diagnosed the idler pulley in another video. I'll link that up above for you guys, and I thought at the time that it was originally my power steering making all this vibrating in this pulley, because there was a whir, and that sounded to me like power steering whine. However, power steering whine usually changes when you turn the wheel. Not so with my car, or truck, I guess you would say. It did change when I revved the engine, but it didn't change when I turned the wheels. So I wasn't really sure what was going on, why that was the case, and I just decided that I'm pretty sure it's the idler pulley. So idler pulleys are a lot less expensive than power steering pumps and reservoirs. So I went ahead, just got the idler pulley, because I know for a fact that that's bad. There's tons of play in the one that's on there currently, and so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace that. You're going to start off by disconnecting the negative battery cable and then taking off the skid plate. I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse both of those things. Those are both really easy and simple. Negative battery cable is a 10 mil, and then there's 4 12 mils on the skid plate that you have to loosen and take off to remove it. Alrighty everyone, now we can look up into our engine bay, and as you guys can see, this right here that I'm touching is the idler pulley, and I can easily wiggle it back and forth with my hand. There should not be nearly that much play in this thing, so I'm pretty sure this is our culprit. To remove it, we're going to need to loosen this bolt that my thumb is tapping right there, and then the actual center bolt of the idler pulley itself. I'm going to try and get that center bolt first with a 3/8 drive, 14 millimeter, and then this one I'm going to use actually a crescent wrench to first break it loose, and then one of my ratcheting wrenches to actually loosen it more. The reason why I'm doing that is because you don't want to use 12-point sockets and wrenches to try and break things loose, because you could strip them. I have learned that the hard way too many times, and so I would rather play it safe, use the 6-point side, be careful, and then switch over once it's broken. Awesome. It's actually already loose. Okay, so after trying to use the gear wrench on that little stinker for the tensioner, I was like, you know what, this kind of stinks. And so I looked at it from a different angle, and so I rigged up this contraption. This is a screwdriver handle that goes into a socket, this is an extension into a 1/4-inch drive to 3/8 drive adapter with my 3/8 drive socket. Yes, there we go. That lets us move much more quickly. Belt's getting really loose now, almost to where we can slip it off. And let's try that. I'm just gonna reach both hands up, pull down on the belt, and now I'm gonna push that knot. And our belt is off. Finish unscrewing this nut by hand. Next is this dust shield. And then the idler pulley itself. There it is. the source of all my woes and problems. Let's take a look at this thing. All right, so right here on the ground in front of me, we have our original idler pulley, the new idler pulley, and the nut and the dust cover. So it says right here on the box for the new pulley to note, the bearing in this product is greased and sealed and therefore does not require the dust cover that may be used on the original pulley. Check for interference before reusing the original dust cover. So looking at the two, you can see a bit of a difference in their design. Obviously the size of the two pulleys is the same. Old one has a little bit higher rims than the new one. And this is the dust cover. As you can see, it fits very, very nicely on that original one. On this new one, it kind of fits, but moving it around like that, it doesn't move at all. Well, it does move, but not very much. This one, a lot more movement. There's nothing really holding it in place, so I don't think I'm going to use the dust cover. I'm just gonna put it on, especially since it says on the box that it doesn't need it. Let's go ahead and compare though how these two pulleys spin. I'm gonna set the camera up. All right, so we can say rip to clean hands because I'm touching this pulley now. But if I hold it here on the center where the bearing is and try to spin it, it is extremely difficult to spin. It spins inconsistently. It's just difficult to work with, and this center shaft here has a whole ton of play in it. I really doubt you guys can see that, but I can feel it just moving my hands around. Let's compare that with the new one. With the new pulley, I can grip the center bearing and actually physically spin the pulley. There's no inconsistency, no resistance. It feels really, really nice. And I think that this is hopefully gonna really improve the noise, for one, that the engine was making. And secondly, I wonder if it'll even make it run a little bit smoother. Nothing really noticeable. I don't know, it's been feeling a little bit strange recently. Sometimes it feels great, other times it doesn't feel as great. So I wonder if an inconsistent idler pulley could have been impacting those performance of the engine a little bit. So let's go ahead and slide this new pulley on and get to installing it. So now we just take our new pulley, make sure the belt is on the front face of it so that we can get it around. We're gonna slide it onto the stud. I'm gonna push it upward. Hand tighten the nut onto the stud as far as it'll go. And now the task comes of putting the belt back on. I would have a belt tensioner tool so I can check the tension in the belt. However, I'm really just gonna be playing it kind of by ear. There's a general rule that a drive belt should not be able to depress it more than 1/4 inch by pushing down on it. Just by pushing down on it in the middle between. One of my friends recently actually had his belt come apart as he was driving, so you don't want to overdo your belts, that's for sure. And also because this belt is older. So I actually disconnected this hose here from the radiator so that I could slip a socket up there onto the lock nut and then tighten as far as I could get it just with hand force. I'm going to pull that out, put this socket onto a torque wrench, and check it. Unfortunately, my own nice clicker torque wrench is inch pounds and it doesn't go high enough in foot pounds. So I'm going to use an older bend style torque wrench. However, because this isn't a super high precision part, I'm not tremendously worried about getting perfect accuracy. If you have a torque wrench that looks like this, hopefully you guys can see all that, when you apply torque, this will not move because it's a separate piece of metal from the actual wrench, and so it will bend to however many, and then you just look for the number that you're trying to torque it to, and when you reach that number, then you stop. So you don't want anything to be interfering with your torque, obviously. That would be quite bad. So this looks good. So now I'm going to pull down, and I've actually, there we go. That is supposedly 29 foot-pounds. So now I'm going to feel that pulley with my hand, see if the pulley itself feels snug and tight. Feels good to me. Seems to be turning nice and well. All right, here goes. First start with the new idler pulley. I think that was our solution. All right, it sounds really, really good, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the hood. We don't need a skid plate to drive it around, so I'm gonna take it around the block, see if it's still making funky noises. And I think that we may have solved our problem here. This is pretty sick. See how she revs right now. It doesn't make any hideous noise. So there you guys have it. Replacing the idler pulley solved all of the awful, awful, awful engine noises that I've been hearing coming from my 2001 3.4 V6 Toyota Tacoma. This was really, really awesome. It only took me about probably 2 hours, and that was with filming, and filming always makes everything take longer. So really, really easy job to do by yourself if you have the necessary tools and extensions and stuff. Honestly, I probably would not have been able to do this without my new tools and extensions that I got for Christmas, so that was really, really sick that I was able to use those and put them to good use. But truck's back in perfect condition, or as perfect as a 2001 vehicle can get, and I am super happy about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead, leave a like and leave a comment down below telling me what you enjoyed. If you have any constructive criticism, you can also feel free to leave that in the comments section. Share this video with all your friends if they're having any weird belt or pulley noises like me, or if they just want to see some awesome how-to content from a young automotive enthusiast. That's a great reason to watch me too. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can find out every time I publish a new video. I come out with new videos every Saturday at noon Central Time, so make sure that you tune in then. And yeah, pretty much all I got, guys. Peace out.